Hello, and welcome to Life of a Boss, the podcast, hosted by entrepreneur, public speaker, and mentor, Jason Hardin. This podcast is all about helping audiences create and reach their own definition of success through positive thinking, perseverance, and personal development. Having survived extreme obstacles from an early age, such as cancer, poverty, abuse, family dysfunction, and even homelessness, Jason has learned how to master the art of resilience and defy all odds to become the boss he is today. So, get ready for some serious game and remember to keep an open mind. Now, without further delay, here is your host, Jason Hardin.
Yo, what's up, everybody? Jason Hardin here, and I want to answer this next question. We actually got it from Jeremy, and Jeremy wants to know, how did you come up with the name of your brand? It is catchy and moving, and I am thinking about a name for my brand. You know what? First, I gotta ask which one. You know what I'm saying? Because I do represent a lot of brands because I've created a lot of brands, you know, from the ground up. So, you know what? To make it easy, I'm just gonna explain them all and the inspiration for all of them. And I think I'm gonna do it in a way where you can take something from how I've done it. All right? I'm trying to do my best. All right, here. Okay, this is me. This is my answer, Jeremy. Okay, first we'll start with Hardway Enterprise. Hardway Enterprise is the parent company for everything I do. You know, everything I own, every idea I have, every name I create, every piece of clothing, every brand, everything comes up under Hardway Enterprise. Hardway Enterprise is the parent company. You know, it's the umbrella, if you will. And how I came up with the name Hardway Enterprise is pretty much easy. You know, Hardway, first of all, you know, I gotta name, Enterprise is like a given. You gotta call it something. Enterprise, corporation, incorporated, associates. You gotta call it something. So Enterprise, man, I just picked Enterprise because I thought it was, you know, explained. You know what we do. We're an enterprise, you know. So yeah, I picked Enterprise at random, but I did think it matched up with Hardway the best. But Hardway, basically my last name is Jason Hardin. My last name is Hardin, Hardin, and Hardin is near and dear to me. The name itself, because it's what my dad called himself, and to be honest, I think legend has it is that Hardin wasn't my dad's father. You know, Hardin was the cousin of my dad's father who kind of took responsibility for the new baby, and then my granny, you know, kind of named my dad after the cousin. And this is all urban legend. I don't know how much of this is true. But, you know, man, we only know our history through words. It's in our nature. So this is what I've been taught and told. So anyway, that meant something to me. So that meant that my dad purposely embraced Hardin. You know what I'm saying? He ran with that name. He went with it. You know what I'm saying? I'm running with that name. You know what I'm saying? And so hard, being the first, you know, real word in the word Hardin, means something to me. I've always meant to try to be hard. You know, whether I try to act hard, you know what I'm saying? Whether I try to portray myself as hard, you know, but being hard was always something that was respected. You know, even if I didn't have it all together, man, fuck that, man. I'm out there. You know what I'm saying? You know, it's that confidence. You know, it was where my confidence came from. Even when I didn't have confidence, I was still hard. I'll still fight you. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if I can kick your ass or not, but we gonna find the fuck out. You know what I'm saying? Why? Because I thought I was hard. You know what I'm saying? So there was times where I really exerted that. And there was times where I realized, man, that would get my ass in trouble. Always trying to be hard, but it was always something I represented. So hard had to be in the name, and I came up the hard way. I came up hard. Like I'm saying, I like poverty, drugs, abuse, dysfunction. Man, that was my childhood. No stability. I went to 19 different elementary schools. You know what I'm saying? It was hard. It was hard dealing with that. Sometimes living with my mom, sometimes living with my dad, sometimes living with both, sometimes living with none. That it was hard. So I always felt I came up the hard way. And it wasn't nothing to me. Like, man, it was my normal. But when I realized that wasn't how everybody came up, I was like, oh, well, I guess I came up hard. So, yeah. So I came up the hard way. So Hard Way Enterprise is how I named the parent company. It's what I said. Everything else will be under this. And Hard Way, in its origin, was just my graphic arts, freelancing, my media creation, freelancing, my video editing, logo creation, CD covers, DVD covers. I would do all that, and all that was under Hard Way Enterprise. Hard Way Enterprise was basically a media company. It was always a production company of media. We always produced media, content, and it wasn't anything else, pretty much. We didn't sell a whole lot of tangible products, more so than it was just me doing graphic art services, marketing services, and things of that nature, website building, things like that. And then the next biggest company I'm probably known for now is Made in Dina. Made in Dina, well, Life of a Boss. And Life of a Boss is big because I am host of Life of a Boss, the podcast. We do have a clothing line, man. It is a mission, a movement, a brand, a business, an idea, a concept, a lifestyle. Straight up, you know what I'm saying? So Life of a Boss is big and it's major. But that's new. You know what I'm saying? I've said it for a number of years, but the actual manifestation into it being what it is today is very new. The podcast, the brand, the clothing is very new. You know what I'm saying? So Life of a Boss came from well, let's back up. Made in Dina. You know what I'm saying? If you want to know what Made in Dina came from, which is like pretty much maybe the next biggest brand I'm known for, other than the Dina magazine, but I know you're not specifically, Jeremy, asking about the Dina magazine, so we're not going to even go there. But Made in Dina is the clothing line that kind of paid for a lot of shit. The sales for Made in Dina paid for the documentary we did on gang violence in our community. It paid for a lot of the mentor programs that we do. It pays for this office that we're in. So Made in Dina is like really where the bread and butter of everything came from, and that was under the brand name Hardware Apparel. Hardware Apparel was just Hardware Enterprises clothing line. So everything I make under clothing, everything I create and do under clothing and fashion is really Hardware Apparel. And like I said, these names, they might get confusing, but when they're all DBA'd and they're all organized right and everything and the paperwork's right, then they really become tangible products in itself. And I'm creating my brands so they can be sold, they can be compartmentalized, you know what I'm saying? So they can be organized different, so they can be its own division when everything grows, you know what I'm saying? So that's part of organization. You know, it ain't just every idea is its own shit. No, every idea falls within somewhere. And all that falls under Hardware Enterprise. Okay, now we'll get to Life of a Boss. Once Made in Dina and the Dina magazine and all that shit took off, man, it was time to go with Life of a Boss. And I was really teaching people how to create and live their own definition of success. Basically showing people that they are bosses. They just got to start acting like it, start moving like one. You know what I'm saying? And that's really like what happened to me, man. I felt like I was always a boss. I just had to figure out how to act and maneuver and move like one. From when I was a youngster, you know what I'm saying? So that's really where all the names come from. And one thing they all have in common is that they all mean something to me. They're all something I can get behind. They're all something I can push. They're all something that represents me. They're all something that represents who I am, my characteristics, what I do. You know, more so than the business. You know, sometimes you don't even know what the business is by hearing the brand name, but they all represent me. And you create the brand that business represents. You can call some shit No Hole Media or just No Hole. You ain't even gotta add media, and then you build that shit to where motherfuckers understand, like, oh, No Hole is the biggest media company in the world. Whatever the fuck you think about can be as big as whatever the hell you want it to be. So there's no limitations. There's no restrictions. There's no cap on an idea, but best believe that whatever you run with, you better be all in. You better be willing to push it, create it, live it, eat it, breathe it, shit it, go to sleep to it, wake up to it. You know what I'm saying? That's the energy that it takes into creating a winning brand. It's not the name. The name can be catchy as fuck and nobody can care about it because there was no push behind it. You know what I'm saying? So don't put as much energy into the name as you put into making that name successful. You feel me? So that's all I'm saying. And then choose a name you can get behind, because that's how you make it successful. You got to be dedicated to it. You know what I'm saying? You got to eat, live, breathe, and shit it, man. You got to be about that life, as they say today. You know what I'm saying? So I'm about that Maiden Dina. I'm about that life of a boss. I'm about that hardware enterprise. I'm about that hardware apparel. I'm about that the Dina magazine still. You know what I'm saying? I'm about everything that I've ever created. I stand by it. I still do. And since I haven't sold any of those brands, man, it's still part of me. So I can still push it. I still promote it. It still make money. You know what I'm saying? So whatever you do decide to create your brand around, make sure it means something to you, and make sure you go all in on making it the biggest, baddest, whatever it's supposed to be as possible. All right, man, I love you, Jeremy, and I love all of y'all that listen, that really send us questions, send us inquiries, send us facts, send us comments, send us love of all sorts, man. And I just want to encourage y'all to keep on engaging, man. I love y'all. Peace. And remember, success is indeed a lifestyle. All right? Now, peace.
Did anything stand out to you in today's show? If so, let us know. Your questions, comments, and concerns are important to Jason, as he is determined to always deliver to you only the most impactful information and content. Until next time, please subscribe, like, comment, share, and leave a review whenever possible. You may visit lifeofaboss.net for more episodes and great resources to help you become the absolute boss that you were meant to be. You can also follow Jason on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Hardin. Thank you. And to never forget that success is a lifestyle.